Next Level Racing release day. Today we're talking about the brand new GTLite Pro. It's awesome. Now, as the name would have it, this is the updated model to their super popular GTLite, their foldable, spatially conscious, racing and flight sim compatible rig. And I've never used the original, so I don't know how this compares, but we're just gonna talk about first impressions with it anyways. Assembly, comfort, and of course, in-game experience. Now, Next Level Racing is actually giving one of these away. So if you head down to the description, check the Gleam.io link, do all the sign up stuff there. And if you use my creator code FANTASTICTECH, you'll get 100 extra entries, which is pretty rad. So thank you to Next Level Racing for that, and also for the launch day invite. Y'all are rad people. Let's go back in time and put that together. Initial impressions of the assembly process was actually the instruction manual. It's quite tanky, but I think that's just Next Level Racing being very thorough, because the actual assembly process is pretty aces. It all comes in like one big box. It's like 6 separate pieces. If I didn't have to film it, I would guess that the whole process would take about like 20 to 30 minutes, so not bad at all. The one rig I do have hands-on comparison with is their GT Track. I love a good hands-on project. That one was kind of involved. However, thankfully, on the GTLite Pro, like 90% of the assembly process is done for you. You do get the bag of hardware, but that's just like for your wheel or flight stuff. All the screws necessary for the rig itself are pre-installed to the threads where they go. It's fantastic. Lots of nice decorative touches all over the place too. You get these Velcro, I think like support straps. They've got some nice Next Level Racing branding on them, and every piece minus like a couple rough pushes here and there. Very nice alignment. Actually, one piece I never got the handbrake shifter plate installed. It just had a little bit more to go. I was pushing as hard as I could. And of course, right after filming this A-roll, I tried again and I got it. You just have to push super hard. However, it still won't be in a lot of the footage because my Logitech X3D does not mount. So this is just it for visual demonstration. And I don't have a shifter for my wheel, so sue me. Let's move on. Now, this GTLite Pro, like the GTLite, is one of Next Level Racing's foldable design rigs, and it was a little bit like unnerving folding it down for the first time. You do have to loosen these joints right by the seat, which I was not doing originally. However, once I got it sorted by reading the instruction manual, actually, it collapses down really nice and it's very compact. Obviously, a dedicated sim rig takes up a lot of space. Everyone's space allocation is going to be different. And like I said, this thing is very compact once it folds down next to a desk, in a closet. No reason you couldn't leave it set up full time, obviously, but if you're like me and you temporarily set up to race, this folds away really nicely. Great system. But now that the GTLite Pro is set up and ready to go, let's pop a squat and yeah. This is really comfortable. Regarding the original GTLite, this is just personal experience. In photos, I've never actually seen or sat in one in real life. It never looked like it'd be comfortable. I don't know what the GTLite Pro looks like to y'all, but I can tell you this is comfortable. There's 3 pads along the main back support. The lower back one especially is really nice. Just as another comparison for something I have hands-on with, the GT Track, I would consider that rig like a good firm. I would consider the GTLite Pro like a good cushioned, but still supportive. Solid love handle support, which is very important, and really nice flexibility with the pedals distance. It's actually like properly cool how these adjust. There's 4 adjustment handles next to the pedals. You loosen everything up, you slide it back and forth into the right place, you tighten it down. You don't even have to take off the pedals, which is great. And speaking of pedals, let's get the wheel installed. I do rock a Logitech G920, which is a great wheel before you go down to the comments. And installing this thing onto the GTLite Pro it's fantastic. This rig is great. I did have to shift the base plate to get some better arm distance, but then it was just 4 screws on the bottom. Installing the pedals was also super easy. You can actually just fold up this bottom part to get to the threads at the bottom of the pedals. And that's it. They definitely make it an easy system. One note of sizing though, if you're looking at this thing going, am I gonna like be comfortable in it? I am about 6'1"-ish, 190-ish, and I couldn't do the pedal arrangement where the pedals are at the 15-degree angle. My knee would bump up against the bottom of the G920, and it was just feeling a little bit cramped. Luckily, switching the pedals over to the flat arrangement is like a total cakewalk. It takes like 30 seconds. You just pop the end out, which comes out separately, flip it upside down, put it back in. There's no hardware or anything like that. And at this point with the flat pedals, feels 1,000 times nicer. I don't bump my knee. It's great. Now, in terms of like sitting in it and using it, I hope it's coming through in the footage. This thing is sturdy. Again, just the impression of looking at these foldable rigs, I wouldn't have maybe guessed it was this sturdy, but this one is like really great. Sitting down in it, like you don't feel like you're gonna break it. The materials are really nice. The stitching is really nice. The hardware is great. It's all metal. It is $300, which is a lot of money. And I think that's kind of towards the bottom of like sim racing rig prices. However, it doesn't feel like that at all. I mean, no, it's not like an aluminum base, but, and I don't have one, but apparently, according to the box, it does hold up to a 13 Newton meter base. I have a G920. We're not stressing this thing even kind of, but we do got a race. When I first got my G920, I had it strapped to my desk and it would always slip and slide around and like fully come off sometimes. And at that point it was a cool experience, but it wasn't necessarily the experience I was like after when I got into the hobby. But I can say, since getting my hands on some rigs, it has been a night and day immersion experience, enjoyable experience. Proper timing, I was just about to say my ability is more consistent, but I'm also distracted right now talking. And in all of this, how does the GTLite Pro stack up? Absolutely fantastically. In terms of like all the things you would want from a rig, like if I turn in hard and I kind of move around, the rig doesn't really shake. If I slam really hard on the brakes, the brake base plate doesn't like go flying off, which is ideal, of course. And the G920, not even kind of stressing the base plate. If the box is accurate, which I absolutely believe it is, this thing can handle up to a 13 Newton meter base. Oh, that was a terrible breaking point. The Logitech G920 is about 3, a little bit less than 3 even. Because this rig can handle so much, you have a lot of shopping options in terms of like your wheel and base setup. And especially if you are after specifically the foldable design of the GTLite Pro, this has been a fantastic first impression so far. This isn't really specific to like any rig in general, but if you've never sim raced with like your wheel stable, your pedal stable, but most importantly, your chair stable, oh my gosh, you got to figure out a way to get that done because it is miles cooler of an experience. Massive thank you again to Next Level Racing, and thank you for watching. If you want to check out more from the GTLite Pro, hit the links in the description, the Gleam.io giveaway link, and my Next Level Racing affiliate link directed to the product page on their site. This was a really fun one to put together. Thank you for enjoying the sim content. These collaborations do not happen without it. But until next time, stay safe, stay happy, peace out.